Hey guys, it's Chelsea, and I was gonna apologize for looking rough, but honestly, we're just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna take my glasses off, which means like everything's blurry now. I'm kind of in a Velma Dinkley situation. When I'm not wearing my glasses, my vision's pretty terrible. Like it could be worse, honestly, but it's pretty bad. Um, like, in all of our earlier episodes when we were filming and I didn't have glasses on, like, I couldn't see you guys, and yes, I have contacts, but I literally just got them, and I'm the world's worst at using contacts, like, they stick to my fingers when I try to put them in my eyeballs, and it's comical at this point, me trying to put contacts in. Um, literally, I have to have my husband help me put my contacts in, so I'm just gonna not be able to see that well for this video. This video is going to be crossover content for I Will Go Down with This Ship and my chronically ill creative group that I've created and am the founder of. Uh, if you will notice, I look a hot mess right now. Um, I've taken my migraine preventative meds every day this week, but well, no, let me take that back. I forgot to take my evening dose last night. I took my morning dose this morning, but I have a raging migraine right now. And I guess that missed evening dose last night came back to bite me. And also I apologize for my greasy, sweaty hair. Like it's 8 billion degrees and like a gazillion percent humidity in Alabama right now, and it's hot, y'all. And I have had probably the least productive week of my adult life so far this week. Um, I am in the middle of a chronic illness flare up. I don't know which of my cocktail of chronic illnesses is kicked up beyond my migraines. I like my rosacea could be a part of it. The non-serum rheumatoid arthritis could also be playing into things. They all kind of feed off each other and a lot could be going on. But I was discussing with one of my mentors, Kim Lambert, last night that this past weekend I was being really reflective and in some of our recent episodes, like episode 4 that just dropped, I talked about an incident from 3rd grade, like literally from 3rd grade. I don't even know how many years ago that was. Like I'm 35 and I was like 8, 8 or 9 in 3rd grade. So like it was a long time ago. I'm not gonna do the math on that because I don't want to think about how long ago that was. But since we had that episode, I've done a lot of thinking about how I really need to let some of these grudges go and how holding these grudges and this anger and these things that have hurt me in my life, like holding these things in my body isn't serving me. It's not helping me. So I did a lot of intensive journaling about the things that I've been upset about in my life and been holding grudges about and, been angry about and all this kind of stuff. And like really set the intention of letting it go without thinking about the fact that intending to address these things and confront them and let them go might cause a physical response in my body to addressing those things and trying to let them go. Um, it's almost like addressing those things and confronting it sort of made me upset all over again. And I don't know if anybody else with rosacea experiences this, but when I get upset, it triggers my rosacea, and then that can set off a cascade of my chronic illnesses because that is triggered. And it's tough to be creative or productive in any way when all of my chronic illnesses are kind of in an uproar because I decided to confront these things. And it's a lot and it's hard. And my body, it's almost like this anger and these grudges and these things have become a part of my identity, and it's a situation of homeostasis. And even though they're toxic and they're not healthy for me, my body doesn't want to let them go because it doesn't know how to function without them. And like you guys can see how swollen and puffy I am today. I'm not in a good situation, but um while we are talking, I'm just going to do some small bits of self-care while we're talking to each other, and I hope that's not distracting for you, but I really just feel like I need to take care of myself while we're talking. I'm gonna put a little moisturizer on my face, and even though my hair is sweaty and looks awful, I'm gonna brush it. Um, and we're going to work from there, and just like these small acts of caring for myself, like it's not anything big, but at least I can do these things for myself while I'm working through these big feelings and while my body is working through trying to release all these big feelings. And, like part of me didn't even want to show up on camera looking rough like this because, who wants to show up looking gross and being vulnerable and puffy eyed and kind of like looking nasty? But I feel like it is very authentic and honest. And, it's like Heather and I were talking about in episode 4. You've got to show the ugly bits too for it to be worth it when you triumph and when things succeed. And like, I hope this is making sense to literally anybody besides me. It might not be, but I hope it is helpful for somebody out there besides me. And like, I apologize for all the dings in the background, you guys. That's my messenger going off, but those are like some of my favorite people messaging me, and I'm just gonna shout them out. I promise I'm not ignoring you guys. Summer Atchison Puckett and my best girl, Kat Jeffords. I love you. And it's crazy how much better I feel just brushing my hair. Like, even though it looks it looks horrible, like I feel like the description of Snape's hair from the Harry Potter books and how greasy it was, like I feel like that right now. Um my head hurts so bad. I feel like I should put my hair up, but my head hurts so bad that I don't know if I can. Um hmm, that's a quandary. I don't think I can have anything touching my head right now. It's fine. But to continue with my thoughts while we're talking to each other, coming back to the thing about productivity and this being like the least productive week of my adult life. You guys don't know how many times I've had to tell myself this week that it is okay that this week has not been productive, and that with the things that I am working to let go of so I can move on and be a more healed, uh, happier version of myself moving into the future. That it's okay if I'm not making progress on my creative projects right now. It is, you know, we got filming done for the podcast and that was fantastic. And like, I'm okay if that's all I get done this week with the massive, massive amount of emotional labor that I did this past weekend to let go of a lot of things that were not serving me. And honestly, they like the anger and the grudges and the hurt feelings and all that kind of stuff weren't hurting the people that I was angry at. It was only hurting me. And like, obviously, holding that in my body hasn't been good for me. So it's time to let it go. Not that my body agrees with me. It is in an uproar about changing any of the status quo at all. But we're going to work through it together and it's going to be fine. And once I am feeling a little better about all of this, I will get episodes for my cowboy romantic suspense on Kindle Vella, Deceit and Desire, scheduled for next week instead of this week. Because that's I'm very emotionally connected to that book also. There's a lot of big feelings there. Um because the the death of my female main character's mother is very heavily tied to the death of my grandmother, who my primary caregiver when I was a child. She watched me like every single day while both of my parents were working 24/7 to give me a wonderful life. And like, maybe when I was a kid I didn't understand that and held a lot of resentment about it, but like as a parent now, I can look back and like get what my parents were doing, but I spent a lot of my time with my grandmothers and specifically my mother's mother, and her death was incredibly traumatic for me when I was 8 years old and in the 2nd grade. And so when I decided to work through that by infusing that into Zoe, my female main character, and her mother's death. Uh, it's a labor of love, but heavy on the emotional labor. So it has been a very rough week, uh, but I do actually feel a lot better having shown up for you guys, even though I look so gross right now. And just talking about that emotional labor and acknowledging to myself and to you guys that it's okay to not be as productive when we're in periods of transition like this, working through emotional changes, emotional transformations that affect us physically as people with chronic illnesses. And like, I don't know how many of you out there experience this yourselves with your emotions heavily affecting your chronic illnesses and your chronic illnesses heavily affecting your emotions, and it kind of being a living cycle. But I would be interested to hear about it. And I would love to know what what are you guys doing, even in like really small ways, to take care of yourselves during flare ups and times like these, because I am, or at least in the past, I have not been the world's best about self care. And sometimes I'm still not. Like, I may have founded the Chronically Ill Creative as a group for us all to connect with each other and work with each other on these things, but I am still like very much actively in the trenches with you guys in many ways. Like, as you can see, I am not, how do I want to word this? I'm not perfect. Um I'm still learning, trying things, trying to figure out how to manage my creative life with these chronic illnesses, and trying to just like figure out, how do I do these things? Um how do I juggle all of this and achieve all of the things I want to achieve when um my body does not seem the least bit inclined to cooperate at all. And I would genuinely love to hear from you guys what you do to care for yourselves when these things happen. Um like, how do you achieve small things and celebrate small wins during flare ups? How do you care for yourself, recover, and work through flare ups and big feelings like this? And when I say work through, I do not in any way mean like the just push through it and get things done mentality, because I'll be straight with you, I hate that with every fiber of my being. Like, there are times when you just physically cannot. Like, I don't know. Just that phrase, just push through it, almost makes me physically ill. Like, my body rebels at the thought of the just just push through it mentality. Sorry, I can't even talk straight right now. But when I say work through it, I mean like work through your big feelings, trying to figure out how you function and recover and take care of yourself, and like love yourself and love on yourself, and like really let yourself rest and find relief so that you can eventually get back to your creative endeavors and the things that you want to do in your life. Um, I don't know how coherent this was, but just having come here and spoken about it today and being genuine and authentic with you guys about where I'm at and what I'm doing and what I'm working through has almost lifted a weight off me, despite the fact that, I'm struggling personally right now with productivity guilt. And like, there were so many things that I planned to do this week, but it's okay that I didn't, because my body needs to process everything that I am working to let go of so that I can do better and be better and enjoy my life more and just have a healthier and happier and more joyful creative life. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon, whether you are watching me on I Will Go Down with This Ship, or in the Chronically Ill Creative group. And I want you to know that I love you and I am so glad that you're here with me. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.